The Kansas City Chiefs just left us all speechless. So we're going to be going through that and 3 other stories in today's video. So make sure to like this video, and if you want more Kansas City Chiefs news content like this, make sure to subscribe to the channel by hitting that red button down below. The first story is Chiefs All-Pro Chris Jones will remain pillar of Kansas City's dynasty. At the parade commemorating the Kansas City Chiefs' victory in Super Bowl LVIII, pending free agent Chris Jones declared, "I ain't going nowhere, baby." At the time, one wondered whether Jones had gotten caught up in the moment or if he was speaking after one too many adult beverages. But his declaration turned out to be prophetic. On Saturday night, ESPN reported that the Chiefs re-signed their talented defensive lineman to a 5-year deal that includes $95 million guaranteed. That extension assures that Patrick Mahomes, Travis Kelce, and Jones will continue as the stalwarts of the Chiefs' Super Bowl dynasty. The other remaining offensive or defensive players from their initial Super Bowl run in 2019 are all free agents who might not return. It's also a testament to John Dorsey. As magnificent as general manager Brett Veach has been in manipulating the salary cap and putting pieces around those 3 stars, it was Veach's predecessor, Dorsey, who drafted the trio. Selected in the second round of the 2016 NFL Draft, Jones developed into a 5-time Pro Bowler and 2-time All-Pro. He has 75.5 career sacks, including 10.5 last year, and he steps up at the biggest moments of the biggest games. In the Chiefs' first win of the Super Bowl dynasty, he thwarted a San Francisco 49ers comeback by deflecting several passes in the fourth quarter of Super Bowl LIV. In their most recent Super Bowl win against the 49ers, Jones pressured quarterback Brock Purdy on a 3rd and 4 with 7 minutes and 29 seconds left in overtime, forcing the 49ers to settle for a field goal and opening the door for Mahomes to lead the game-winning touchdown drive on the ensuing series. It's why Jones was worthy of a record-breaking deal. The specifics of Jones's contract have not been released, but ESPN reported that Jones will have the highest average annual salary ever for a defensive tackle, surpassing that of 3-time Defensive Player of the Year Aaron Donald, and Jones's guaranteed $95 million would be the 4th most guaranteed money for a defensive player on a current contract behind Nick Bosa and Joey Bosa and Myles Garrett. Upon signing his previous extension, Jones, a noted basketball fan, said he wanted to be remembered in history like the Michael Jordan-era Chicago Bulls had. "It was the understanding that me and Pat have," Jones said. "We both have the same goal: create a dynasty and build something special." Jones is a centerpiece of that dynasty, which has won 3 Super Bowls in 5 years. Other main figures have come and gone, but the 3 pillars and potential NFL Hall of Famers remain. Mahomes is under contract through 2032, and the 34-year-old Kelce is under contract for 2 more years. It's why Veach said at the NFL Combine that re-signing Jones was a priority. "We'll get to work," he said. "That's certainly a guy we want back and love. We want to see him finish his career here in Kansas City." Mission accomplished. Still, it will be interesting to see what type of cap gymnastics the Chiefs pull off to fit Jones under the salary cap. Kansas City currently has just $1.3 million in space, though there are some easy fixes. Restructuring the contracts of Patrick Mahomes, Joe Thuney, and Travis Kelce will open up around $48.5 million in space. The Chiefs could also open an additional $12.6 million by restructuring Jawaan Taylor's contract, but it's unlikely they want to push more money forward after a disappointing 2023. Kansas City also continues to explore trading cornerback L'Jarius Sneed, who has a $19.8 million cap number after receiving the franchise tag. Those cap realities won't deter Chiefs fans from celebrating what was a pleasant weekend surprise. With Mahomes leading the offensive side and Jones serving as the stalwart on defense, there's no reason why Kansas City should feel anything but enthused about its chances to three-peat next season. The second story is how the Kansas City Chiefs can create more cap space entering free agency. As the Kansas City Chiefs set about the task of signing free agents in the next several weeks, they're going to need to attend to the books in order to clear the requisite space to get some players to sign on the dotted line. In years past, the Chiefs have come right out of the gate with signings early in free agency. Jawaan Taylor was an offensive tackle who signed for 4 years and $80 million a year ago, which meant the Chiefs needed to clear up enough space to at least handle the first year of his contract alongside the other salary commitments on the roster. How will a team like the Chiefs clear enough cap space to get the job done? The NFL's salary cap for the coming season is set at $255.4 million. So if Brett Veach wants more cap space than he has now, he'll need to rework a few things. We've got at least some ideas for him here. At this point, if the Chiefs want to create some significant cap space, then it makes sense to start with the most expensive player in the game, quarterback Patrick Mahomes. Mahomes is scheduled for a $58.6 million cap hit for the Chiefs this offseason, which is tough to stomach even after the cap jumped much more than expected in the last year. Should the Chiefs decide to restructure Mahomes' deal, even in part, they will be able to take a certain amount of his roster bonus or even his base salary and turn that into a signing bonus on an amended deal. That amount would then be spread over the life of the contract, which reaches into 2010. Of course, those amounts would come due in the future, but it gives the Chiefs that choice on a yearly basis in case they want to free up cap space. Given the sheer enormity of this year's total, it makes sense to start there. Charles Omenihu presents a real quandary for the Chiefs at this point, a debate in which it's easy to understand both sides. Last year, Omenihu arrived on a 2-year deal from the San Francisco 49ers to bolster the pass rush. He had to sit out the first 6 weeks of the season due to a suspension, but rallied back to form very quickly and became an essential piece of the pass rush in the second half of the season. The problem is that Omenihu went down with a torn ACL deep in the team's postseason run and now faces a considerable rehabilitation process that should carry well into the regular season for the Chiefs. What could ease the financial burden here, however, is also a toss-up. The Chiefs can cut Omenihu and move on without facing any further questions, a cold "thank you very much" from team to player, and be done with it. However, if they liked Omenihu for the short time he was on the field, they could extend his deal and set off some of the immediate costs to keep him down the road. Would Omenihu be amenable to a deal? How much more would it cost? Is that smart business to extend a player coming off of such an injury? Either decision for the Chiefs will at least save some money. If the Chiefs only need to clear a few million at some point this offseason, they would do well to also lock up their superstar kicker, one who proved just how valuable he can be in 2024. Harrison Butker was an exemplary performer for the Chiefs in 2024, and a case could be made for him being labeled the single most underappreciated player on the roster. The reason for this is that he came through with a career year, right when the Chiefs' offense picked the worst time to stumble and stutter their way through most of the season. Behind Butker's incredible blend of accuracy and power, the Chiefs were able to inch past several opponents even after scoring far less points than expected in 24. The strength of their defense held opponents to even lower totals, while Butker came through with one game-winning kick after another. As Butker heads into a contract season, the Chiefs are going to want to keep him around for the next several years to come. A new 4-year extension should reward Butker to the tune of $6 million per season, but the first year of that deal could be quite low and save the Chiefs a few million on the $5 million cap hit he's scheduled to make this year. The third story is speedy Texas wide receiver could be the new Tyreek Hill for Kansas City Chiefs. Former Texas wide receiver Xavier Worthy, who is projected to be selected within the first 2 days of the 2024 NFL Draft, believes he has a similar skill set to Miami Dolphins receiver Tyreek Hill, formerly of the Kansas City Chiefs. That's why Worthy told USA Today's Tyler Dragon that he's an ideal fit for Kansas City's offense. In a perfect world, I definitely would want to go to the Chiefs, Worthy told Dragon in an article published on March 8th. Just the way Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs improvise and use you. They had Tyreek Hill. The way they used him, I feel like that would be a perfect fit for me. Worthy 20 also revealed to Dragon that after he broke the NFL Scouting Combine's 40-yard dash record by running it in 4.21 seconds, Mahomes, among many other people, reached out to him via text to congratulate him. In Worthy's 2023 season, his final season at Texas, he registered 1,014 receiving yards on 75 receptions and 5 receiving touchdowns, according to Sports Reference. Standing at 6'1" and weighing 165 pounds, Worthy's size is a cause for concern at the next level. Yet his speed makes him a nightmare for secondaries, especially when he catches the ball with some green in front of him. Regardless of the coverage, Worthy is so fast that he just needs time to get open downfield. He also possesses good ball tracking ability and has the bend and agility to excel on outbreaking routes. He's far from a finished product, especially when it comes to his size. But in the right offense, Worthy can be an immediate contributor in the NFL. Worthy is right, he would fit into Kansas City's offense nicely. Now that the Chiefs have cut Marquez Valdes-Scantling, the team needs a receiver who can play on the boundary and challenge secondaries downfield. Worthy can do just that. But what Worthy can also provide that MVS cannot is a spark in the short to intermediate parts of the field as well. The biggest obstacle preventing a marriage between Worthy and the Chiefs is Worthy's draft stock. Depending on how the board plays out during the draft, there's a chance Worthy is selected before Kansas City makes their first selection, which is 32nd overall. So,